Hello aspirants. So in this video we are going to start or learn about the concept of inflation. So my focus will be to first understand the meaning of inflation. So when we talk about meaning of inflation, so normally what you can say generally people understand rise in the prices, or you can say rise in the price level. Now, no doubt this meaning is correct if I talk in general, but for our exam, that is for UPSC civil service exam, the correct meaning is rise in the prices of essential commodity. So commodities here means both goods and services. Both goods and services. So here when we are talking about the meaning of inflation, so the correct meaning is rise in the prices of essential commodities. So here you will see that there are two components in the meaning of inflation. Number one is rise in the prices. Rise in the prices. So this is the first component, and second component is that is of essential commodities. Of essential commodities. Although there is another component, that is a third component in this meaning. So that is, you can say, you have to guess, although I'll tell you in this video itself, but by the end of this video. So if you know what is the third component, so you can put your comments below the video. Now, so in the meaning of inflation, there are three components. So already we have seen that there are two components and third component is also there. Now, when we talk about essential commodities, so our focus is on both goods and services. Both goods and services. So this is what you have to remember. Okay. Now here remember one thing, that in any economy only essential commodities, with respect to essential commodities we are interested in price rise. So we are not interested with respect to luxury commodities or luxury items. For example, if price of BMW increase, we are not concerned about that. But we are concerned about if prices of petrol and diesel increase, if prices of fruits and vegetable increase. Now in fruits and vegetable also, there are some items or some commodities which are consumed by masses, whereas some items which are consumed by elite class. For example, organic. Okay, so if prices of organic fruits and vegetable increase, so nowadays or currently within India, so we consider that organic products are luxury items. That is with respect to India. Now here you have to remember another one thing, that when we talk about essential commodities, so essential commodities vary from country to country. For example, in US, BMW is a normal product, whereas in India it is a luxury product. Clear? So this is what you have to understood. So in US, organic products are, you can say, essential product, whereas in India right now it is a luxury product. So you have to understood, we are understanding inflation in context of India. So when we talk about essential commodities, so you have to focus on those products, those items or those goods and services which are consumed by the masses. Okay, so ultimately essential commodities are those commodities which are consumed by masses. Means when I am saying masses, means majority population. Majority population. For example, if I talk about goods, For example, if I talk about goods, so you can say your fruits and vegetables, okay, like onion, tomato. So right now you know that onion and tomato are in news. Why? Because of increase in the prices. Okay, so goods like fruits and vegetables. Okay, so for example, onion and tomato. Similarly, we have services also. Like if I talk about services, so here I am talking about school education. School education. Okay, fees of a doctor. Fees of a doctor in primary healthcare. So when you go to any OPD, so there you will see that ki doctor charge 300, 400 or at max 500. But if suppose they started charging 5,000, okay, that is the fees. So ultimately that is inflation. So when we talk about inflation, we focus on both goods and services, but those goods and services which are essential, and essential means consumed by the masses. So ultimately here remember that if the prices of only luxury goods are increasing but no increase in the prices of, you can say, essential commodity, then you will not regard it as inflation in India. But if the prices of essential commodities are increasing, whereas the prices of luxury goods are not increasing, then it is regarded as, you can say, inflation. Clear? So here our focus is on only essential commodities. So if I am using the word product or goods and services, it means in the context of inflation, I am talking about only essential commodities. Clear? Now, so this is what you can understand, that we focus on essential commodities. But now the next thing that we have to understand in order to derive what is the third component. So you will see that normally inflation is regarded as a negative connotation. Yes or no? I hope whenever you heard a term inflation, so normally people, or what comes in the mind is that this is a negative connotation. But in actual or in reality, inflation has both positive, or you can say positive and negative connotation. Now when I'm saying positive connotation, it means inflation also has a positive impact. So inflation does not have only negative impact, it has positive impact also. Now here I'll give you one statement. In order to grow, or in order to achieve your growth rate, every economy needs certain inflation. So when I am saying certain inflation, it means we need inflation within certain limit. We need inflation within certain limit. So for example, our government has set a inflation target. Our government has set a inflation target of 4% plus minus 2%. So this is what even government of India is also looking for, this much inflation every year, that is 4 plus minus 2% per annum. So government is also looking for inflation every year. Now why we are looking for inflation? So we are going to see that answer. Basically, assume that there is only one factory in your economy. Okay, so assume that there is only one factory in an economy. So when I'm saying there is only one factory in an economy, what does it mean? That factory is producing some essential product. That factory is producing some essential product with the help of factor of production. With the help of factor of production. So assume that there is only one factory. Okay. So factor of production is land, labor, physical capital, and human capital. So we have these four factors of production. Now, no doubt, if suppose or assume that in year, we take any year, for example, in year 2021, this factory producing, or you can say they are producing some product, for example, product A, and this product A is essential product. Now this A product, for example, they produced 100 products, just taking one small number in order to explain you, 100 products in year 2021, and the price of this product is, for example, 10 rupees. So it means, can I say that in year 2021 this company has earned how much? 100 into 10, that is 1000 rupees. Now this 1000 rupees is distributed among the factor of production. So when I am saying human capital, so it means human capital is the one who is arranging all these factor of production, or you can say owner of the factory. Okay, so it means out of this 1000 rupees, some money will go as a profit, some money he will give to the labor in the form of salary. He is using, or he is using the land, so he has given rent also. Plus, when I am talking about physical capital, it means the company has spent on, you can say, water bill, electricity bill, or other expenses to run the company. So that is physical capital. Okay, so ultimately you can say bills. So it means this 1000 rupees get divided into these four factor of production. Okay. Now, when next year will be there, for example, in year 2022, all these factor of production are looking for more money. So whatever they get in year 2021, now these factor of production are looking for more money. Now this more money will come in two ways. Okay, number one, so that more money will come in two ways. Number one, by increasing the production. So for example, in year 2021 we produced 100 products. By increasing the production, so this can be one way. So it means in year 2021 we produced 100 products, so now we want to produce more than that. Number one. Number two, if suppose company owner is not ready to increase the production, we can increase the prices of the product. So this is another way. Prices of the product. So earlier it was 10 rupees, so now it is 10 plus, okay, so say for example 12. Okay, so ideally or in practicality, all the factories or all the economic activities are doing both. Why? Because when they are doing both, then only you will see that last year they earned, for example, 1000 rupees, and when they next year they do the both things, you will see that there will be increase in this price, and when this increase will be there, so automatically factor of production will get more money. Okay, factor of production will get more money. So that is why we need, so if I come to this second point, that is why we need certain inflation. And keeping this thing in mind, our government has set inflation target of 4 plus minus 2%. 4 plus minus 2%. So basically, this whatever I am telling you about in you can say inflation. So you can say whenever there is inflation up to certain limit. So in our case, that limit is 4 plus minus 2%. So you will see that there will be increase in money with factor of production with factor of production, and when they have increase, it means they will create more demand in the market, more demand in the market, and when there is more demand in the market, it means company owner will be ready to invest, or you can say there will be investment by companies or factories. Okay, and when they will invest, it means for new investment they will also generate employment. So you can say there will be employment generation. And ultimately there will be growth rate or increase in growth. Okay, so this is what you can say, there is a relationship between growth and inflation. Now this model that I have made in front of you, this model is also known as Harrod Domar Model. So although we are studying for Indian economy, that is for your GS, so this model is, if anyone is having economics optional, so there you have to study in detail, but in GS you just remember the theory of Harrod Domar Model. So ultimately they are looking for investments. So investment can be increased if there is inflation within certain limit. Although if inflation is more than this, then there will be, or you can say this model will get fail. So remember this thing. Okay, so this model is successful only, this model is successful if inflation is within limit. So you have to remember this thing. So model will be successful if inflation is within limit. Beyond this limit, then this model does not work. Why I am telling you? Because some of you may be thinking that, sir, if we increase the inflation after this limit, what will happen? Then this model will not work. Okay, so you have to tell me in comment section that why it will not work. Clear? Next, if you have understood this thing, so in 2012, so you can see the previous year question. So in 2012, UPSC, so I am talking about prelims, they have given one question. Now the question is that economic growth is coupled with, so they have given 4 options, and one of the option is inflation. So like inflation, deflation, stagflation. So these are the options that has been given. So one of the option is inflation. So answer is inflation for that. So you can see that this question is based on the meaning of inflation. So if you know the meaning of inflation, that what actually inflation is, okay, then only you can answer this question. Okay, so this is what they have asked in 2012. So you can check previous year question. Clear? Now moving further, if you have understood this thing, now we'll again come to the meaning of inflation. So the meaning of inflation, as I told you, that inflation is rise in the prices of essential commodities. So we'll further elaborate it. So if you see what exactly inflation is, so inflation, what it says, that inflation is rise in the prices of essential commodities, but if such rise has an impact on the standard of living of the people or majority population, then in that sense we regard that महंगाई हो गई है, or we regard that inflation as negative inflation. Okay, so ultimately what I am saying, that if inflation is responsible for increasing the income of the population. So with increase in my income, it will not have impact on my standard of living. So I can explain you this again with another example. Now you have heard that your grandparents used to say one thing, that in our time this product used to come at this price, but you justify them with one thing, that no doubt right now the price of this product has increased, but my income has also increased. So you justify in this way, ki in your times, means in your grandfather time, you used to say that time the price of the product is less, your income is also less, but now or currently you can say my income has also rise and price has also raised. So ultimately with increase my income as well as with increase in the prices, there is no impact on my standard of living. That is why it is essential, or you will see that everyone surrounding you, after every 1 year they want that ki income should be increased or some proportion of income should be increased. Even I can justify this thing in this way also. Even if you see rent agreement, so if any one of you are staying on rent, so you know that after every 11 months your landlord used to come to you and ask you that now the rent will be increased. So this is why he is saying that if suppose landlord only source of earning is your rent, so he know that ki prices of product are increasing, that is in the range of 4 plus minus 2%. So he or she, that is your landlord, also want that my tenant must pay me more rent, or there will be increment of maximum 10% in your rent. So even if you see rent agreement also or rent agreement act also, there also they says that ki after certain time, means after 11 months or 1 year, rent will be increased. So ultimately this provision has been put in your law, keeping in mind the concept of inflation. Got it? So this is what you have to understand. Now, so as I told you, the meaning of inflation is that rise in the prices of essential commodity, but such rise in the prices must have an impact on standard of living of majority population. So I am not saying all population, I am saying majority population. Why I am saying it? Because in economy there are some people who are earning in lakhs and crores, so to them there is no impact. But majority means like those who are earning in thousands or at max 2 lakh per month, their income, or you can say their income is not increased, but price has increased. So ultimately we are saying majority. Okay, so elite class used to travel by chartered plane. So if prices of oil, diesel increase, nothing happen. Even if prices of aviation turbine fuel increase, they can afford. Why? Because they are earning a lot. Okay, but people like you and me get impacted. So ultimately this is the negative connotation of inflation. So if you can say in this way, that if inflation, if you can, will take a case, if this is the case, if inflation is there, that is 4 plus minus 2%, but there is increase in income also. So when I am saying increase in income, so I am talking about majority people income has increased. So you will say that ki this is a positive connotation of inflation and it is desirable. So case 1 is desirable, but But if there is inflation, for example 4 plus minus 2% or more, but the income of the people is either remain same, or you can say constant, or it has decreased. So I'm talking again about majority population. Then this case is regarded as, or you can say, inflation in real sense, that is negative connotation. So जब हम बोलते हैं महंगाई, so we are talking about this case. So जब maximum जनता और majority people in our economy says that महंगाई बढ़ गई है, so we are basically saying or talking about case 2. So we are not talking about case 1. So when people are easy to, or you can say ready to accept this inflation, so it means why they are accepting it, because their income has also increased. That is why they are accepting it. So they know that this is desirable one. So in this sense they never say महंगाई. So as I given you an example that your grandfather used to compare the prices of a product from their time to current time. So you basically explain or you justify your grandparents with case 1. Okay, whereas case 2 in real sense is, you can say, inflation. So ultimately if you see the COVID time period, so if I talk about COVID time period, that is year 2020 as well as year 2021, so we have seen that due to disturbance in supply chain, prices of product has increased. तो जो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं आपके, उनका शॉर्टेज हो गया था, तो जिसकी वजह से प्राइसेस बढ़ गए थे. एंड एट द सेम टाइम in the same year the salary of people has not increased, either it is constant, decreased, or some people have to lose their job. Okay, so ultimately that was a case of inflation. I hope this concept is clear. So can we now say in the end what should be our learning, that when we talk about inflation, so there are 3 components in the meaning. One is rise in the prices. Number 2 is, that is of essential commodities. And number 3 is standard of living. So these are the 3 things. If these 3 things get justified, then only you will say that there is inflation. If these 3 things get justified, then only you will say that this is inflation. So this is what you have to understand. Okay, so अगर ये 3 चीज जस्टिफाई हो जाएंगी, कि मीन्स प्राइस बढ़ रहा है, असेंशियल कमोडिटी का, और स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है. Okay, so some of you still confused with standard of living. So what I'll say, that my salary increased, prices of petrol and diesel increase, but in this situation still I continue to go to my office with my car. But if suppose prices of petrol and diesel has increased, but my salary has remained constant or decreased, so in that case you will see that I will start using public transport. Or you can say I can do like this, ki in 6 days, okay, so Monday to Saturday, in that these 6 days 3 days I'll go by my car and 3 days I'll go by public transport. Or you can say I'll request my boss that please allow me work from home. So ultimately this is what my standard of living get impacted due to rise in the prices of petrol and diesel, but my salary has not increased. So this is what standard of living. So standard of living, although there is no fixed definition of standard of living, but standard of living is whatever living standard you enjoy or you have, but with increase in prices you have to reduce that standard of living. For example, another example, when prices of onion get increased, so when you go to restaurants, So you will see that ki hotel or cafes, they have removed the plate of salad which they used to give earlier free of cost. That is plate of onion which they used to give you at free of cost. Similarly, you will see that ki in your house also you are consuming less onion. So ultimately prices has increased, but your income has not increased. So this is inflation. This is महंगाई. Okay, so we always talk about inflation, or you can say negative connotation, whenever these three components are disturbed. So if suppose only these two are there, means prices has increased of essential commodities, but standard of living has also increased, then this is a positive connotation. So this is what you have to remember. So this is the meaning of inflation. So I hope you understood the concept. So if you have any doubt in the meaning, so in today's video, my focus is on to make you clear the meaning of inflation. So if you have any doubt, you can send your doubt in comment section, or you do one thing, that you can send your doubts on my Insta page. Okay, so on Instagram, if you are available there, so I'll try to resolve your doubt if there be, or your doubt will automatically get solved when we'll come with new videos or new concepts. So wait and watch. So I hope you learn something. So Jai Hind and have a nice day.